Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tubers? Cesario from the Vario coming back at you, or should I say you, with another video for your butt. And I finally figured out how people on the computer do their little split screen, or what is that called? Picture-in-picture window. So, feeling a little sick, man, so excuse my voice and stuff. But I'm going to do 3 video responses today. The Cuban collector, Hall of Fame collector, and we also got Deadguy cardboard. So let's start off first with Jonathan, Cuban collector, who wants to know, his whole thing is based around the Super Bowl. And he wants to know, when you're watching the Super Bowl, he has 3 questions. What are your top 3 beers? Okay, so my top 3 beers is, normally it's Corona when I can afford it. My go-to is always Bud Light, because that's something I started doing a long time ago when I used to work at this place called Big League Dreams. We had this guy Tony, whose parents pretty much gave him a house. And so we used to go watch Super Bowl at his house, and it was the greatest experience ever, man, because what we used to do is we would all have these squares, and everybody would bet, and there's, you know, all these bets going on, and everybody would bring their big TVs to his house. And so on every room, we would have a different game on. Like, he had his own TV in the living room. Somebody else would come and bring a TV and put it in the kitchen. Some other guy would bring a big TV, put it in one of the 3 bedrooms. So every bedroom had a different TV and a different game on. And it was the greatest thing ever, man. You know, and I was in my 20s, so I was young. So you could hang with the Coronas all day. But as I got older, after that, man, I started going with Bud Light. Because Bud Light could help me get through those, 8-10 hours of drinking, of watching football all day. But right now, my favorite drink is the Michelada. And not just any Michelada right now, but it's actually this one. Hold on. This Michelada, the Mango Michelada by Estrella Jalisco. Oh man, it's so delicious. Yum, num, 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 num. Alright, so Cuban collector, those are my 3 favorite beers to drink during the Super Bowl. He had another question. What is your favorite food? Alright, and so my 3 favorite foods to eat during the Super Bowl is, come on, in California, being Mexican, everybody goes to carne asada. A little bit more Americanized, man, tri-tip. You gotta try that tip. That tip is delicious. Just the tip. Alright? But my favorite side dish, which everybody eats as, the main dish, is Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Chicken Dip. Alright? And if you guys never had that, either make it yourself or ask your wife if she can make it. Look up the recipe, Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Chicken Dip or Priva's Dip. Oh my God. The bomb! It's the bomb! Alright, and lastly, he asks, what team are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? Well, I basically don't have a team in the Super Bowl. My team is the Cowboys, and they're out of it. So I still always watch the Super Bowl. That's something me and my family, my daughter and my son have even, got into just for the festivities. We've always watched the Super Bowl every year. And I don't have a dog in the fight, and I normally never root for a team, because we don't have any hometown teams anymore in LA. But now we actually have 2 all of a sudden. So I'm going to go with the home team, the Rams. For the first time in a long time, I'm rooting for a team in the Super Bowl. I really could care less who wins, but if I had to give you an answer, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I hope the LA team wins. Ciao, LA baby, LA. Okay, so next we got the Hall of Fame collector, and he wants us to show something that he would like. All right, and the only thing I can think of right away that I think you would like from my collection, since you're a Hall of Fame kind of guy, would be this 1966 team signed ball. And it's got quite a few Hall of Famers on there, but the most notable would be, where is he at? The Sandy Koufax So I think you would, you know, this would be an object that you like from my collection that I think that you would like. So next, he also wanted to know what other hobbies did you have outside of baseball cards. Well, I'm also into RC cars. Not as much as I used to. This whole rack that I have in front of me used to be full of all my RC cars. I had like over 10 of them. In my old house where I used to live, I actually built an RC / BMX bike track in my backyard. You would have to, I'll see if I can link, maybe I'll try to link in the comments or below a link to one of my Instagram channels where I used to show my cars all the time, RC cars. But so I would buy cars, and you see like this one, this is the stock body. I would like to buy clear bodies and custom make my own bodies before. I mean, but it wasn't a cheap hobby, man. So before I got back into collecting baseball cards again, that's where my money went. Okay, see like this car alone, that's just stock. That's like $500, man. I mean, it's not a cheap hobby. And then you're constantly breaking parts all the time. So you're constantly replacing parts. And it was pretty fun. You know, I got into it with my son. We were both into it. And my daughter, gave her an RC car. But let me show you how I would do some of the custom jobs. Okay, so this is another truck that I have. And I'll show you how I would custom make my bodies. Okay, like this truck, you know, I'd buy the body. And I painted it white. Then painted the blue on the outside. And then go to Walmart or anywhere and just basically buy stickers to custom my car. These are all just stickers. You can see this one's already like falling off. And that's how I would make my own body carts. I would custom to what I wanted. So that was my other hobby, man. RC cars, man. And it was great, but it got too expensive. And not like baseball cards are cheap, but that was one of my other hobbies. Ciao! Okay, so next we got Deadguy Cardboard, who wanted us to show our rarest card. Well, I mean, you could go with 101s, you could go, you know, with stuff like that. But I can guarantee you there's only one made of this card, or at least kinda. Was this Dale Murphy reverse negative. I mean, okay, just start looking at the details and you'll start seeing what's going on here, if you can see them. So this card I made when I was a kid. I wanted it when I was real bad. And so if you can see, I cut this out from a baseball card price guide. Because they used to, like, see, this one is also cut out from a price guide. And I actually think, if you see right here, okay, where the actual card is and where the picture that I cut out starts, it's about right there. And I think on the cover of the magazine, this Will Clark was like this. So I cut this out and I glued it onto a real Dale Murphy card, and that's why it goes across like this, right? You can see right there on the O where it goes. And then over here, this was in the center of the magazine where the staple was. So basically, I just got from another card and try to match it up as good as I could. But at first glance, a lot of people just think it's the real thing. I mean, it's not even close. But it is the back of an actual Dale Murphy card, but not the error one. So as a kid, this is how I satisfy my thirst for the reverse negative Dale Murphy. So I would put that in as my rarest card. Hope that's acceptable. And then lastly, he wanted a shout out to a young tuber who's like 18 or under 16. Now I'm going to give that shout out, man, and I should have done my research a little bit better. But I think it's called Cruises Cards, something like that. I'll put the link below. So that's my shout out for one of the youngest, man. And I remember so many other kids I used to, like, who remembers Ben Mueller? Remember that kid? Man, that kid was like 12 years old and had like the sickest collection you've ever seen. Remember Carco cards? Carco something number? Man, he was funny. And he just disappeared too, man. There's a lot of kids that have came and gone. But right now, Cruises Cards is in. So those are my 3 video responses for the day, folks. Love the hobby. Keep collecting baseball cards forever. I said, ciao, under 10 minutes. Love the hobby, people. Keep collecting baseball cards forever. And he is called Cruz's Card Stop. So check out his channel, Cruz's Card Stop. All right. Great kid, man. Great attitude with this collection.